What's going on, YouTube, man? As always, it's another Wednesday. So, with that being said, I got another video for you, man. This one is a heavy hitter because I got a new mic, all right? So quit looking at it like that. But this one is a heavy hitter because I work for the federal government, like some of you might know. I also do real estate as well. But with my federal government job, we have something called FERS. FERS, and it tells us about our retirement. So this is why I'm no longer waiting for my retirement, okay? Because I looked on that doggone FERS toolkit. There's a toolkit that you can download. I know I have an Apple phone, and this isn't a plug for Apple, but I'm just saying. I just went into the Apple store. I went into the FERS toolkit, and I downloaded the toolkit, and this thing gave me the biggest disappointment ever. All right. So let me go ahead and just tell you a little bit about this here, right? So on September 28, 2041, that's my birthday, I'll be 57, okay? That's not the cool part. That's not the exciting part, none of that, right? But I'll be 57. I'll have 31 years and 1 month in federal service. So after 31 years and 1 month in federal service, what is that going to get me, right? That's going to get me $1,328.39 a month. So you put in 31 years just to get $1,300 a month. Yeah, I'm not digging that, man. So I have 19 years and 10 months left before I can retire. So I got to make a change, man. So check it out. I want y'all to sit here and watch this video because I'm about to show you what I want to do in order to retire, even if it's at 57, but retire comfortably. All right, let's go ahead and check it out, man. All right, so some of you may know, all right, I had to take these glasses off for this joint, right? Some of you may know that I do work for the federal government and do real estate on the side, but I also have a couple of investments. So I want to go ahead and go through those, okay? So I'm a huge fan of real estate because I sell real estate, for one. And then I'm a huge fan of real estate because I own some real estate, for myself. This is my second home that we have here. And then we actually started to purchase a third home. So the third home is not too far down the street, and I'm keeping it all in the same area because, all right, purchasing real estate can create some passive income for some of us, okay? For me, I'm just a regular Joe Blow. I work my 9-to-5 gig, all right? And I want to make some passive income because I don't want to work forever. I don't want to work for 31 years and then not make anything after that. I want to be able to still continue to make some money. Actually, right now, I don't want to wait until I'm 57. I want to make money now, and I want to have it be passive, all right? So with real estate, it's not just passive, but you still need some work, okay, as an investor or as a landlord or homeowner that rents out your home. However you want to put the verbiage in there, you still need to do work, okay? So it's not completely passive. You still have to do something, all right? You have to screen your tenants. You have to make sure your tenant is paying on time. You have to make sure your tenant is taken care of and comfortable, okay? That's what some of the people forget. Your tenant needs to be comfortable in the home as well. So don't go and be cheap and raggedy because your tenant is not going to be comfortable. They're not going to enjoy their stay. They're not going to want to stay longer as if you make them uncomfortable and then charge them crazy bills. But anyway, it's still passive income. All right. And then if your tenant's not the best, then it's not going to work for you, right? So then your passive income actually stops, and then now it's a liability on you. But let's get past that, okay? Because there's a ton of benefits that are in real estate that should make you want to become a landlord or a homeowner and then rent it out in the future, okay? So there's a ton of benefits in there, so don't get caught up on those bad ones right there. But either way, it's still passive income. So if I'm making $1,300 a month, right, and I'm only using that number because I don't like that retirement number that I just saw, but $1,300 a month off of my rentals, now I get to add that on to my $1,300. So now I'm looking at $2,600. But let's say I'm making $1,300 a month off of the 2 rentals that I have, right? So now I'm looking at a higher number. Now I'm looking at $3,900. So as you can see, it just starts to compound over and over, depending on how many homes you have. But it's just a good way to have that passive income. So I don't see why not, jump into that real estate market and then see what you can do, man. There's always appreciation in the homes. Yes, there may be a market crash, but if you plan things out, it's going to work out for you. All right, so what some of you may not know is I'm really big into stocks this year. It's really been important for me to understand stocks, because that's not something that has been in my culture. That's not something that has been in my family background. That's not something that I've been around really ever. So stocks is very interesting now, just because it's another form of passive income, man. When you're talking about passive income to this guy, I really want to learn about it, because I want to see if it's something for me. I don't want to just do because, hey, man, Warren Buffett. I say Warren Buffett because I love Warren Buffett. But because Warren Buffett is doing it, that's not the reason why I'm going to do it, okay? I'm going to do it because it's something that's interesting, and it's something that I slightly understand, okay? Way more than I did maybe about 5, 10, 15 years ago. And I did try to get into stocks, and that thing did not go well. Now I'm definitely into stocks, and I'm doing pretty good. Yesterday I made, I think, $308. Today is down. But when you get into stocks, you need to understand that you're going to take a risk, okay? So one way to get into stocks, and it's something that I've done, and no, I am not a financial advisor. These are my own personal opinions. So this is a disclaimer. These are my own personal opinions. You can do anything that you want, and you need to do your research. Just like I've done my research, you need to do your research before you jump into this. I am not going to tell you any ones to get into. I will just tell you some general ideas of what I do, and then you're more than welcome to do the same thing. But let's get back to the video, because I purchased some index funds, okay? And that is also investing in stocks. But by purchasing index funds, you're purchasing small amounts of stock in some of the greater, some of the greater stocks or greater businesses that are out there, okay? So you don't have to be very knowledgeable on it, because I don't know what brands or what companies are within this Fortune 500, S&P 500, whatever you want to say. The index fund literally picks it out. What are the best ones? And it puts your money into there and diversifies it a lot. All right. So it gets you some money, and it also gives you some dividends after that too. So the dividends can be returned back into your stocks. And yes, you may have to pay some taxes on it. That's what I'm saying. Be savvy on it. Understand what you're doing before you get into it. Don't just take my word for it. I'm just some random guy that's sitting on YouTube and making videos because that's what I like to do, and I'm bored. And I have this really cool mic, so why not? But index funds pays you back, all right? So if you can get enough, you can get paid out in index, out of the index fund, and get paid dividends. What else? All right. And then if you purchase into the index fund, it's a little bit less risky. Okay. So it's less risky than, well, for some people, than buying a home. It's less risky than purchasing an individual stock. So maybe buying a home is a little bit too risky for you. So maybe you need to get into something called like the index funds, because I'm definitely getting into it. I'm into it a little bit more heavy. And that's something that I'm going to use to actually gain some more passive income. All right. So one of the other things, and I was just talking about it kind of, but I also buy into regular stocks, so the individual stocks. So these flyers are coming at me, man. They trying to do some, you know what I mean? They trying to come at your boy's throat. But buying individual stocks is definitely risky, because say I put in $1,000 into something, there's no telling on what that market is going to do. Okay. So please be savvy and study up a little bit before you go into purchasing stocks, because stocks could be a make it or break it situation, man. I definitely took a big hit last year. I lost almost $2,000 within actually just one day. So if you're not willing to lose and gain money, don't do that. And I don't want to say just gain. If you're not willing to lose money, don't get into stocks, because it's just like going to the casino. If you're not comfortable going to the casino and losing $100, don't get into stocks, because you can definitely lose 100, 200, 300, 1,000. You can lose a lot of money. So don't get into it if you have that fear, because it's more risky to just buy individual stocks than it is to buy into the index fund. The index fund is something that's going to grow. It's just going to take a lot more time. Okay. So you will have passive income. It may not be something that you can spend right now, but man, some of those rewards, I love it, man. I've like I said, gained $308 just in one day. And that was on top of what I'm already doing. So it's another form of income. Okay. All right, last but not least, and I know you guys are going to come at my head for this one, okay? Yo, I'm buying crypto. I don't even care. I'm buying crypto because it's a new form of money that we're not even sure about. We're not even clear on what direction it's going to go, on who's going to be able to spend it, who's going to be able to have it, you know what I mean? Is it going to be usable? But crypto, man, you can make some money and you can also lose. It's very risky again. But you can make some money if you play this thing the right way. Study and understand what you're getting into. I don't understand what I'm getting into. I'm just purchasing some crypto because it's the new thing to do. Not really. But I did study a little bit, okay? And I feel a little bit more comfortable. I did lose, how much did I lose? $250 out of, I think, 3,000 that I put in. $250, so it's not too bad. But I've gained that back throughout the time. Okay, so I did lose it at that one time, gained it back. So now I'm in a surplus, not in the negative anymore. But for last year, I did lose that $250. So be understanding that you may have a chance to lose. Okay, so this is something that, because this is very, very risky when you're playing in crypto. But this is something that I would say to do in order to secure ourselves for a retirement. Okay, one, hit the like button. Because if you haven't hit the like button already, that's wild. But use the 5% rule. All right, there's always a rule this, rule that, whatever. Use the 5% rule, and you can use it for anything you want. But here's the example: if you're making $1,000 per paycheck, okay, and I'm saying a 5% rule because some of the other rules are a little bit too much, and even for myself, it's very, very risky to dish out that kind of money. But if you take the 5% rule and you apply it to buying stocks, right? This is something that can create good wealth for you in the future. So let me give you the example. $1,000, right? Each paycheck. So every 2 weeks you get $1,000, and I'm just saying $1,000 just to have a comfortable number, right? For the regular folks like me, 5% of that is only $50. You take $50 and you spread that out throughout, whether it be the index funds, whether it be individual stocks, whether it be crypto. You can choose however you want to do it. For me, I would spread it out throughout all three. Whatever one you feel most comfortable with, maybe put a little bit more towards that, okay? But at least you're now doing $50 a paycheck. That's about $100 a month. And then there's some months that would be, $150. But even still, there's $50 per paycheck. And now you're creating some wealth for yourself. You're creating a different retirement for yourself as well. I don't want to wait for retirement. And I'm no longer waiting for retirement because, as you just saw, I'm not going to retire at 57 and only make $1,300 a month. It's not going to happen for me. I can't do it. That $1,300, even say my wife does the same thing and she makes maybe $2,000, right? Because she's a higher pay grade than me. $2,000, $3,000. That's $5,300 maybe a month. That's pretty good, but that's not all I want to be able to do. I want to be able to take trips when we retire. I would love to retire at 57, but I want to take trips. I want to still be able to buy vehicles. I want to be able to pay off homes and do whatever else we want to do. I want to help the grandkids, the great grandkids. I want to enjoy life, okay? So I want to set us up, and I mean us, or everybody, for a better future, all right? But again, I'm just some random guy talking on the YouTube. Please do some research and set up yourself for a great retirement, because if we're waiting for the federal government, man, federal government's going to have us sitting at some $1,300, $1,100, $900 a month, man. It's not it. So hopefully you take heed to this video, man. Hit the like button if you love this this new microphone, man, because I definitely love it. I think it's freaking awesome. But it's a Wednesday, man. The video's dropped. Wait until next Wednesday, man. I love y'all. All right.